Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about a dangerous phone call that was made yesterday among the leaders of Linda Mwananchi, and the main issue and agenda was about Caleb Amisi, who seems to be dumping the Linda Mwananchi to start his own movement, and it is affecting the movement so much. So yesterday, the three leaders had a meeting at James Orengo's house in Karen. And the meeting comprised of James Orengo, Godfrey Ososi, and equally Edwin Sifuna, the Senator Nairobi. So they wanted to talk about how Caleb Amisi has been behaving lately. So in that meeting, the two leaders, Orengo and Ososi, wanted to know from Edwin Sifuna whether they've been talking with Caleb Amisi. However, Sifuna said that Amisi has never taken or rather picked his calls. He's ignoring most of his calls. Therefore, there is no smooth conversation and communication between Sifuna and Caleb Amisi. And I think these heightened issues and the rift between the two leaders, or rather these leaders and Caleb, it heightened after Caleb Amisi gave very divergent views and ideas, saying that he's gonna dump the Linda Mwananchi team and start his own movement. So James Orengo wanted to try his luck and therefore picked his phone, wanted to call Caleb Amisi, something that everyone nodded to. So he made a trial, called Caleb Amisi, and the phone was on loudspeaker. So the conversation started between James Orengo and Caleb Amisi. And then, there's that communication. You understand that where have you been? They've been trying reaching Caleb Amisi, was not around, couldn't pick the call. So Orengo wanted to know what is happening with Caleb Amisi. So Caleb Amisi is a very honest man, and therefore he took some time to reply, but he said that he was among the founders of the Linda Mwananchi, and the whole idea, was about creating a platform for the new generation of leaders to take over the country's leadership. So they wanted fresh ideas and fresh faces. But again, the problem came when some of the Linda Mwananchi went back to the same politicians. Caleb Amisi and those founders were telling Kenyans should give way to younger leaders. And according to Caleb, we never expected that Orengo Sifuna would take that route. After Caleb Amisi opened up, everything went silent in that room. So Caleb Amisi went on saying that Sifuna has been meeting with Kalonzo Musyoka and Gachagua to discuss Linda Mwananchi matters without involving the rest of the Linda Mwananchi. And he was part of the founders of that Linda Mwananchi, this Caleb Amisi. Caleb Amisi went further, saying that it is two-way round. It is either they follow the vision they started with, or everyone goes their own way. That point was the climax. Everyone was solid. Everyone was perturbed by the declaration from Caleb Amisi. And you understand, he's the founder. You cannot do away with him. Orengo, of course, tried to talk to him, to calm him down, telling him to allow discussion to take place so that they can find a common ground. But already Caleb Amisi had made his mind, and he never wanted to step back again, rather go back into another conversation, another discussion. So he gave them two options. Is it that they go back to what they started initially, or everyone to go his own way? Because he further said that there's nothing to discuss. That is his final position. That call was disconnected. So that room remained silent and everyone stared at Orengo, realizing that the disagreement within the movement had become much deeper than they had thought. You had seen some of the few clips online taking rounds showing some of the youths in Thika, in Kiambu, saying that if Linda Mwananchi are going there, then Caleb Amisi should be present. These leaders, they started with the power. They started with the energy. And when you see one of the leaders who were at the forefront starting drawing back, there is an issue. And that issue, if not addressed so soon, it will lead to major issues and major troubles within the Linda Mwananchi. It might even lead to the collapse of that great movement that is loved in Kenya like something else. So the way I'm seeing things here, Caleb Amisi has been overshadowed. It's not about bringing leaders that they were warning them against. Of course, that is about uniting with the alternative government. Caleb Amisi has been against that all along. But the main issue here is about Edwin Sifuna going forward to have talks with the Kalonzo Musyoka and Gachagua without involving other leaders, including Orengo, Ososi, and the rest. Yeah, that is the point, the main point here. In as much as Caleb Amisi is trying, to camouflage in the other reason that we've missed the point, the initial point. Hizo zingine, hizo ni hadithi. The main issue here is that Edwin Sifuna is making decisions on his own instead of involving other people, the founders of this Linda Mwananchi. Why is he going to the negotiation table alone? In as much as Linda Mwananchi. But then you see, you cannot take someone with negative energy. Edwin Sifuna realized Caleb Amisi is someone with a lot of negative energy. He's against the cooperation between the Linda Mwananchi and alternative government, and so many things are happening. Therefore, he resorted maybe to have that conversation, a secret conversation between Gachagua and Kalonzo Musyoka. And that thing is not happening. I'm seeing a situation whereby the rally that was scheduled to happen in Thika will be having problems. If they don't call it off, it might have a very negative impact on the minds of Kenyans and also on the Linda Mwananchi, because there are chaos. There is something happening within the Linda Mwananchi that needs to be resolved before that meeting. Many people are looking forward to see Caleb Amisi there, and by the look of things, Caleb Amisi is not going there unless they make up today ahead of the rally. They try and meet up and iron out their issues just for that rally and just for this movement. Because if Caleb Amisi does not appear there in Thika, it will send a very bad signal towards the Kenyans and also about that Linda Mwananchi. And watu watauliza kama wameanza kupigana sahi wakipata serikali je? I don't know what you think about this post that has been making rounds online, but share your comments down there in the comment section. Let us talk, let us discuss. Perhaps we can form a basis of whatever we're gonna talk about in the next video.